My black millennial childhood is the best childhood you could have ever had. But you know what makes that more special? You know what adds a little deeper into the culture, adds that little lemon lime twist to the shit? Mama waking you up in the morning, asking you to come go to church, and you trying to fake like you sick. You trying to fake like you sick because you want to watch cartoons. And mama know you ain't sick. And if you is sick, it's the blood of Jesus that's gonna heal your ass. That's right, black Christian millennial childhood. And the greatest movie of all time from my black Christian millennial childhood, none other than The Prince of Egypt. We had drama. We had black Egyptians. We had Whitney and Mariah on the same song. Whitney and Mariah. There can be miracles when you believe. This movie was a miracle unto its fucking self. We have Moses and Ramesses. You gotta say all three syllables. You can't say Ramses, it's Ramesses. Moses and Ramesses, brothers. Ties right there, family ties. I'm talking, if I was on the highest cliff on the highest rift, brothers, and you slipped off the side and clinched onto your life in my grip, brothers. Family ties. And you know what? It was all cool until Moses went down into the tombs and he saw Mori and the hieroglyphs and was like, Pharaoh's not your father. And he was like, what? Moses had to go. Moses had to go. He went running into the wilderness, took off his gold, took off his sandal J's, left them in the sand, left them in the desert. Went from the Prince of Egypt to drinking out a well with the fucking goats till Zipporah saw his ass and had to rescue him. Zipporah gorgeous. Zipporah beautiful. Zipporah dancing around the fire. Zipporah giving him that little hip shake. He saw that hip shake. She was drunk off the Henny, gave him a little hip shake, and then the hips don't lie shake. And he was like, yo, this is my woman. Danny Glover in the background singing Look at Your Life Through Heaven's Eyes. And he's like, yo, this is my life right here. This is who I'm gonna roll with. He stared at her like Mowgli when he saw humans for the first time. Then God himself came to Moses, lit the spliff, the burning bush, eternal fucking spliff, and it ain't burned. Moses walked in, God said, take off your shoes when you in my damn house. Moses threw off his Air J's. She's like, oh man, I didn't even notice again, took off the Air J's. And then God sent him back to face his brother. Pharaoh was back in Egypt just getting it how he was raised. He was just getting it how he lived. He thought this was gonna be the homeward bound reunion. But nah, it wasn't even like that. He was like, you know what? He just didn't want to be the weakest link in the chain. He said, I am the morning and the evening star. I am the beginning and the end. He just didn't want to be the link that broke the chain of a mighty dynasty. That's what he didn't want to be. And he did that shit with the side profile with the Sphinx behind him? Are you listening to me? Do you know how many times as a kid I tried to get the side profile? Yo, of the illest shit you can do in your entire life, there's exposing somebody in the basketball court, there's assembling a sniper rifle on a fucking rooftop, and they're standing giving a speech with the side profile with a statue of your own image behind you and 10 stories tall. And then Moses came back with the plagues? He came back with God's wonders? I sent my scourge, I sent my sword, such as the world has never seen, so there is nothing left of green? And then Pharaoh, hardest fucking villain in the game. Hardest fucking, just more pride than Victor Von Doom. Pharaoh with the boils. He got the boils all over his body. He got the darkness. He got the fire and brimstone coming from the heavens. He sees his security guard dropping his spear. He picked the fucking spear up and put it in his chest. Said the hardest fucking shit ever. Pharaoh looked at his mans and them, and then looked at Moses and said, let my heart be hardened. Let my heart be hardened, no matter how high the cost may go. Moses said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Pharaoh said, and let my heart be hardened, no matter how high the cost may go. Moses started to crack. He said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Pharaoh said, and let my heart be hardened, no matter how high the cost may go. Moses looked at him dead in his eye, got real quiet, said, your pockets ain't deep enough. Took his son out the game. And then Moses took the children of Israel and they was out. Moses got his Harriet Tubman on, said, we out. Run your sheep, we out of here. Run your goats, we out of here. And then Pharaoh was like, nah, they done gave me boils. They done gave me boils. They done took my son when he started to get his princely top knot growing and everything. Nah, we gonna go after him. And then they was trapped between the Red Sea. And then they look down the way and they see Pharaoh coming like Chavez in Young Guns with the extra horses, with the regulators, screaming regulators coming up on their ass, and they was trapped. And then Moses walked into the water. He had the rod in his hand. He said, God, we doing this? God said, show him my wonders. He looked up in the sky to the left. He saw Mufasa saying, remember who you are. He looked up in the sky at the right. He saw Duke Evers taping up Apollo Creed's knuckles saying, he a bum. You gonna show him who you are tonight. You gonna show him who you are tonight. He looked straight ahead. He saw God. God said, my name is my name. And then Moses put the rod in the water. Whole Red Sea opened up. I seen gangsters get religious after watching Prince of Egypt. He ain't even Moses no more. He Mo-Dog. He putting in the armor of God, got the helmet of salvation, got the breastplate of righteousness, got sons with the belt of truth, with the tool tucked in the waist, pulling out the sword of the spirit out his motherfucking sheath. What you know about this life? What you know about Veggie Tales when Moses was a fucking zucchini rolling with Larry the cucumber? Huh? What you know about Egypt to Canaan, the board game, rolling sixes to get the children of Israel to the promised land, pulling a chance card and finding out you created a graven image to a false god and you gotta go back to the start, huh? What you know about Exodus on the Sega Genesis, Moses in 16-bit graphics? I thought I imagined this whole game as an adulthood. This shit is real. Moses in 16-bit graphics collecting manna. He don't get one-ups, he gets manna. You gotta harvest that shit. And if you don't harvest, you don't eat. If you don't harvest, you don't eat, huh? What you know about it? What you know about this black-ass millennial Christian childhood? I with Goofy Movie, Gargoyles, and mother Prince of Egypt. I with Elisa Maza, Max, and mother Moses.